Hello, friends! It is I, Scaughdt, videoing once again from Germany, the lovely warehouse where I've been living and working for almost the last 6 years. And as those of you who know me, either via Facebook or email or my pre-Germany days, or those of you who are in Germany and know me from my time here in Germany, it is quite unusual for me to be making a video. The first reason for this, I think the video medium is a great medium for sharing, and it would work really well for me. It's just the technology and we really don't get along. And I take full responsibility for that. I do not lay the blame on the tech, okay? And so I've just stuck to writing these last 6 years, essentially. And I've written quite a number of books and compilations of essays, and I have put them all now up on my website, which is inspiringthealtruisticmoment.com. No, that's a mouthful. I'm going to put the link in the description box below so you don't have to worry about spelling it out and everything. And if you're interested, you can go to that website and click on the writings navigation link in the navigation toolbar at the top, and all of the writings that I've published so far, well, almost all of them. I just published 5 more last week that aren't on the website yet, but the first 43 of them are on the website. You can read them on the website for free, and they're also embedded in the website, and you can download them directly from the website in PDF form if you'd like to have your own copy. So that aside, I've been doing a lot of writing, and which was a huge shift for me, because the first 6 years of being a Peace Pilgrim, from the summer of 2005 up to the very end of 2011, when I came here to Germany, I wasn't doing much writing at all. It was really a lot of presentations and seminars and workshops and one-on-one meeting with people, and which I frankly, don't mean to insult writing per se, but I much preferred meeting with people and doing the seminars and the workshops and the presentations. And my first several years in Germany, I really missed it, and came to accept that this was a writing time and not a presentation time. People here, as a Peace Pilgrim, I don't tell people I'm a Peace Pilgrim. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about when I say I'm a Peace Pilgrim, I'm going to explain that a little more in depth in the next video, so don't worry. But for my first 6 years, I was living such an unusual lifestyle that people were almost compelled to ask me why I was living the way I was living. How in the world could I be happy and healthy living the way I was living? And of course, that opened the door for us to have really deep conversation, right? Because they asked me. And I didn't go around telling people, hey, I got some cool ideas. Because, that doesn't work. People just think you're either a religious zealot or kind of crazy, so it just doesn't work. But the lifestyle I was living opened the door for me. Now, here in Germany, I've got a job. Now, people know I'm a little unusual. They know that I, don't really have any expenses, and they know that I get a paycheck every month and give 80% of my money right away to other people. And I just keep just enough to eat, just enough for my vegan food. That's all I keep for myself. But it's still a job, and I'm still a warehouse worker, and so people don't really know how I was living before, and they don't know what I have to share, and I'm not walking around with a shirt saying, hey, I've got some cool stuff for you to share with you. So I've done no presentations the last 6 years here in Germany. 0, none. And I don't anticipate doing any at all in the time I have remaining. Now, of course, if someone were to ask, I would jump up and down for joy and give one in German, which would be so much fun. But, I don't anticipate that happening. So I've used the time to write, okay? So I would make these huge lists of projects, of books that I've always wanted to write, and projects that I've already started in various phases of completion, and I would tend to go back to them and revisit that list every month or so, and I would prioritize it according to what I call, and forgive my French, the oh shit list. And what that means is, I would say, okay, if I were to die tonight, which which unfinished projects would I be upset most about which unfinished projects would I be most upset had not been completed, okay? So, and I would prioritize based on that, the ones that I thought were the most important for humanity's potential enjoyment or use, yeah? And then I would, then get to work on the ones at the top of the list and try to finish as much as possible. So over time, I finished around 50, 55 right now, and in the time I have left here in Germany, it's possible I'll get up to 70. 55 is fine for me. That's, I'm totally cool with that. And I'm really happy with the ones that have been released and are on the website. I'm really, really happy with those. There are only a few left that I consider to be important and I really want to get finished. And I'm going to be working on those over the next year, year and a half. And at the same time, there really is only one thing left on my oh shit list, and that was if I were to die tonight, I would to this day regret only one thing, really, and that is that I haven't been able to get a video of the presentation that I shared when I was traveling the United States during the first 6 years of being a Peace Pilgrim. That no one had ever filmed it, and people had often tried to film it and offered to film it, and it never panned out. It's never been filmed. And so I had this chunk of time here free, and I decided to do it myself. It's exceptionally unprofessionally, so I apologize for the interesting lighting I've improvised and the cramped space, but really all that's not that important. I mean, what it really gets down to is I just want to share the information. Because one of the books that I have published is the workbook to that presentation, which I've not given in the last 6 years, but which I have given many, many, many hundreds of times in my previous life in the United States. And so that workbook is available for download and reading online at the website. Again, link is going to be below in the box. This is what it looks like. This is my personal copy of Rediscovering Peace, the 3-day workshop workbook, including about 4 years of coffee stains, because I've just had this copy since I printed it. This is the final version of the workbook, the 2013 version. It's the version that's online. And it's a good read. I've constructed it purposefully that it kind of teases the left brain and activates the right brain. There's a lot of symbols, a lot of pictures. And so someone could pick it up and they could basically get what I was talking about. And yet, it wasn't written to be a standalone. It was written for people to have in their possession to take notes in during the workshop, and then take home within and use the workbook to jog their memory from what they had personally taken away from the workshop. And so that's why I decided to make these series of videos of the workshop. Now, it's not going to be as in-depth as the workshop. There are going to be quite a few pages in this workbook that I don't cover at all, that I think are relatively self-explanatory. But the crux of the workshop, the presentation, the major gist of what I have to share, and what I've been sharing really for the last 12 years of my life, is going to come across in these videos. It's going to be about a dozen videos. I've chopped up the sections into good segments in the hope that I can have each video be anywhere from 8 maybe to 15 minutes long, which I think is manageable for almost everyone's attention spans. Though 2017, and I know that there's not going to be any jump cutting here, which I know a lot of people can pack a ton of information into their videos by doing this fancy editing. There's no fancy editing here. This is just me talking to you, okay? So that's the reason for these series of videos. The next video is going to generally talk about where this information came from, and how I became a Peace Pilgrim, what it means to be a Peace Pilgrim, and the information that I've been sharing as a Peace Pilgrim, where this presentation actually, how it became constructed, and how I started to share it, and a little bit how it evolved over time. And then starting with the third video, we're just going to get right into it. And I think that's basically it. And the one thing I've really like I said, the reason why this is the one project left that I was most concerned about not having shared it is because this information, in my personal opinion, is the most important stuff I have to share. The books go in this direction, and actually all of the books I've published up to now do tend to lead in the direction and lead right through and to and through and around the core of this presentation. It is essentially what I've come to share with humanity and what I feel called to share for the rest of my life. And at the same time, the presentation itself is what I always felt communicated the most meaningful version of these truths that I have to share. So I'm very excited to finally be able to share them with you, and I hope you enjoy them. Like I said, you can reference this material through my website. Link again below in the description box. If you have any questions, comments, or confusions, you can always email me at rediscoveringpeace@gmail.com. I'll put that in the description box too, and that's also at the footer in the footer. A direct link to my email is in the footer of the website. So contact me whenever you wish for whatever reason. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have, or certainly take any feedback from you on anything in the website or in these videos. And other than that, just peace and love to all of you guys, and I hope you really enjoy these videos. I'm really excited to have this very odd feeling introduction out of the way. Yay! It took only 3 hours. Yes! And to get into the meat of it. An odd thing to say as a vegan. But the heart of the matter of what I've come to share. So, love to all of you, and I'll see you in video number 2. Peace out.